Guys, you already might know that with AI you can turn image to 3D. And if you were looking around, you may heard of Meshy, for example, and some other providers who do very aggressive ads. But the real question, are they really good? In this video, we're gonna compare 4 major 3D AI generators, such as Meshy, Tripo, Hitem, and Hunyuan. We're gonna see which one does better, where they falls apart, and which one actually makes sense depending on your use case. We're gonna test image to 3D details, we're gonna check texture, we're gonna see what features it has, also we're gonna take a look if they offer low poly or not, and whether it can be actually useful for developing game-ready assets, 3D printing, or else. I'm Steph. I'm following on these tools very closely and I do have clear answer for you. Let's get started. Alright, and since Meshy is what we always see in the ads, well at least why don't we start with it? So what do we have on Meshy? We have this homepage showcasing like an amazing 3D models. And I must say there are quite a lot of girls here. Well, that's a very interesting use case. Very interesting. Okay, seriously, what do we have here? Here, if you go to workspace, we do have image to 3D, text to 3D, etc. Most of them are actually part of one pipeline, which is to start creating a 3D model. They do have this image creation with Nana Banana, Pro 2 and else, which is actually good to have in one place. In my workflow, I always still use them. That's an advantage. What else? For creation, we do have image to 3D, batch image to 3D, and text to 3D. Don't know who used text to 3D, definitely not me. For today's video, I got a bunch of tests. So how about we check some characters, the head and the character together. We're gonna check one big object such as the speedboat, why not? And I have this watches, bonsai tree, shrine, and this shield with weapon. Cool stuff. On few of them we also tried to remesh them and see the low poly version. Since in Meshy I can use batch 3D, why not? I'm gonna select them all and here are the settings. So we do have standard and low poly. Then we do have a model. I definitely gonna go with 6. 5 is very outdated. Image enhancement, which is about removing background and cleaning up the detail. Pose, even though I'm not always creating character, and the license. I'm gonna keep it open for all, why not? And then we're gonna hit bot generate. And what's good about Meshy is that it's pretty quick in generation. When any model is generated, you can press on it, and to create texture, you actually need the next step. So here you can press on texture button and you're gonna select few options like do you want PBR, that's like reflective and stuff, and lighting. That's a good feature that most of 3D AI generators introduce it. So before they allow to remove that baked light. Before all the reflections and shadows were baked and that's make it unusable for game purposes. So we're gonna use that. And I already did that. Let's review the results. Okay, here we do have our bonsai tree. And it looked pretty nice, I would say. We do have 2 million faces almost. So it's like quite high poly. It catches the details. We do have some stuff here. Okay, I would actually say it's not bad. Here are the watches. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 failed, 9 very strange, but almost we do have all the text correct. So here of course there will be no glass, but I know one 3D AI that do glasses. It's Trellis, by the way. Okay, so there's watches. Like okay, watches are so-so. Here's our speedboat. Okay, nah, I mean, I think it like misses a lot of details and I don't know, like the texts are messed absolutely. Yeah, so a bit messy. What about this one? Okay, this one is not bad actually. The pattern here is absolutely broken, like terribly. Other than that, not that bad. Here we have the character. Okay, so I could say like the hair actually goes inside the bag. That's sad. Something absolutely unclear here. Yeah, not very logical. But the character itself like is fine, I would say. And face is not bad. I mean, yeah, like there's a lot of problems if we zoom in. But I guess you anyway create it in the parts. So yeah. For 3D printing maybe, but still again like problems like this are very annoying. And let's check face alone. Oh, okay, it's not bad, but it's not following the prompt, so it should not be everywhere else. So this one, like this imagination, should be only here. But overall, face and hairs and texture look very nice. Now, what about low poly version? Here is the shield and axis. Okay, so it doesn't really remind low poly version. It's just like heavy optimized, like some problem here. Oh, it's like part of it or what? Oh, it's like double axis here. Oh, so yeah, in low poly version, it has more problems. What about Shrine? This one should be difficult. Yeah, I mean, I guess low poly will not gonna work with these complex objects. Okay, so that was it. What else we can do here? There is also 3D prints, and this is quite interesting. So here you can prepare it for multicolor print. You can add base, like add an object to your object, I guess, not for this one, but for characters, and so it might do the job. Multicolor printing like helps it to transit it to vertex colors, which is actually very useful. So you can set the amount of colors and amount of details and export directly to your slicer software. You can also rig it here and animate, but I would not recommend to do that. Like, it will work, but it's not really usable in the games right now. I would be honest with you, none of 3D AI right now does really nice rigging except Mixamo and Akurig, but those not really AI. So now what about prices? One textured asset will cost you around 30 credits. So for free you can do 3 generation. For pro tier you can get around 33 generations. Is that expensive? Let me know in the comments. Next up we do have Tripo. Why Tripo goes second? Because they also do a lot of ads. So let's check if it's actually worth it. Pretty much the same hub. We do have a showcase of what people are doing, and we do have some updates. We gonna need to go to workspace, and pretty much all the buttons lead us to studio. Tripo also have this image workflow, which is good again. That is definitely a bonus. You have few more models like Midjourney and GPT image. That's even better, and you do have like more presets. That's also nice. As you can see, I also use it like to create some characters. Very useful. If we go to model, here we have two main options, HD model and smart mesh. HD basically for high resolution, high poly, and smart mesh is one of the coolest thing, which is about low poly, but also about logical, nice topology. So what do we have here? We can drop image, we can create image from multi-view. By the way, Meshy also has it, and only available if you use one image. My opinion about multi-view is that it's not necessarily improve the quality, but it gives you control on the sides, like backside, for example. If you want to tell it exactly what you expect there, then it's very useful. And there's also batch to 3D. So we're gonna use the same thing. Why not? That saves a lot of time. Here's how it looks, and let's check the options. First, we do have Ultra or Standard. I definitely prefer Ultra. Then we do have generating parts that will basically trigger the segmentation. We'll talk about it later. Privacy, texture, yes or no, texture settings, pretty much 4K or no, PBR or no. I'm gonna use all of these settings like this. For topology, Tripo goes this way. You either set it to max and that will be truly high poly, or you can actually set quads and choose the amount. And this basically here you can make it low poly or high poly generation. We're gonna go for high poly to see the max quality it can provide, and I also gonna use smart mesh to generate weapons and shrine. Okay, let's review the results. The head. Okay, it's a little bit shiny. In Tripo editor, for some reason they do have these settings that make PBR really PBR. That's not really happens in engine. It looks quite nice. The shape, the more accurate understanding. So I like this one more, and pretty much I like her. Yeah, all looks good. Next one, the weapon and the arrows. Okay, I think like this is actually how I expected it to be. Sort of like the arrows to be not inside the shield, like be behind, like a bit far, but yeah, I like it. And look, the pattern is more clear, and especially the tree on the shield is way more clearer. I would not say it's perfect, but it's like way clearer. Here's our speedbot. Okay, so text failed here, or is that like what is like Korean or Thai? Well, at least I can read some letters. but yeah, that's still broken. A bit too shiny, but actually, if we check the geometry alone, it's very good shape. Like, and inside, it's not that broken. Like, you can see like all small stuff here and there. I would say this is way better result. Let's take a look on Shrine. Okay, ooh. Now, this is very nice. I know this is high poly, but let's say we use it for some video and stuff. I'm not sure what's that. Like, those should be some coins, right? The shape reminds coins, but with texture, it doesn't look. But I mean, I can simply imagine like decimating this, dropping somewhere as an asset, like looks really cool. And the leaves are not messy. Look, I mean, it's like, it's something. It's like, not that bad. I mean, of course, you can do that different way. So this one I actually really like. What about the character? Okay. Ooh, like she's really shining. Whether that's good or not. But, ooh, I like the details though. I really like the details though. And look, on the back side, this is a bottle. This one actually goes inside. I think it shouldn't. But other than that, like, this is at least logical, right? And the hair and the ears, so the texture messed it up here. But on geometry, ooh, I definitely like this result. Really good. What about the clocks? Oh, no way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's no way. Wow. No, I mean, like, this is, wow, this is really good. Like, just remember this. This is exactly why I added this example. I cannot read this text, right? That's failed, but these all are correct. That's very nice. Next up, bonsai tree. Ooh, okay. This one actually looks good. Okay. A little bit mess here. No, but it's close to reference though, not gonna lie. And yeah, the pieces of leaves, very well done. I like it, guys. Whoever will say I like it. All right, that was high poly. What about low poly? Okay, and here we have the first one. Arrows. It tried to sort of like logically organize the connection. I don't get it. Like, for access, I mean, there are no double access, like the shield and access like looks good. One thing that I need to tell you that here, it is extremely fast. So if we do, for example, let's do head, and you have to set the poly count here, let's say 15K, let's say, and look how fast it works. I was actually so impressed with it, so I created a dedicated video about it. The link will be somewhere here. And this is really next gen in terms of speed, and it allows to do iteration very fast. And another thing that I must say is that some parts are very logically done. So let's say you see the eyelashes here are done like this. For character's head or stuff like that, smart mesh is extremely good. It's definitely my choice right now. Yeah, take a look on the mesh. You can experiment with different poly counts, and I'm impressed. How much Tripo costs? So psychological $20, 19.9. We get 3000 credits. Textured model costs us around 35 credits, which is around 80 to 85 models, which is 3 times more than Meshy offers for the same price. What else Tripo offers is segmentation. About the segmentation, you can mark some area, it actually do the base for you, then you generate like a separate parts. If you're interested in that, I do have separate video on this channel where I compared 3D segmentation particularly. Then we do have retopology. Retopology is a step if we are created high poly model, or we can actually upload our own model, which is also good. And then we have options to quad, trees, select the poly counts, and I really recommend always try smart low poly. Then we do have texture. If you use smart low poly, or if you generated high poly without texture, you're gonna go here and generate texture. Again, it allows from image multi-view, then you can fix texture, upscale, or add PBR as a separate pass. Again, about animation, I'm very skeptical. I tested them all. They are not really usable. Now guys, it might not be enough for you to understand which one is better. So guys, I do have you covered. I created Top3D AI specifically for this reason. It's absolutely free community leaderboard where you can side by side compare stuff and see which actually works. Mainly there is 3D Arena in battle mode where you can compare all existing newest 3D AI side by side in blind mode and decide for yourself which one is good. So here I really like this one. I'm gonna vote and it will reveal that this one is 3.0 and this one is Hunyuan 3.0. You can see how much it costs per generation and how long it takes, and you can learn more if you want. You can compare by texture, by geometry. There is also low poly mode, so you can compare the quality of mesh and even segmentation. And I really encourage you to go and check it out because you'll help the community to figure out what 3D AI is really the best right now. And as a bonus, I also keep tracking on some existing promo codes and I put them here. So definitely give it a visit before buying any subscription. Next one, we do have Hunyuan. And these guys are really nice. First of all, they are still free. They give 20 credits per day that you can use for free generation. And the quality is really good. So if you're a first timer, I definitely recommend to start from here. No need to buy subscription, give it a try, just register with the email. And recently they released global version before it was only Chinese. I do have a video about it. And they also have this 3D studio, which is amazing. Now, mainly, what do we have here? Text to 3D, image to 3D, single image, multi-image. Oh, by the way, multi-image is insane here. They allow up to 8 multi-views. I never use this, but again, if you want 100% control of what's happening, you can use it. But it's not guaranteed that it will follow exactly. Then we're gonna use single image. We're gonna add image. There is no batch or stuff like go one by one, and each image is also verified. Then we choose, of course, the latest model and press generate. We can generate together with texture or geometry alone. I already did that. Let's review the results. Here is our head. Okay, I would say I really feel all the time that the proportions are a bit different and the texture for the hair is a bit off. It's not that nice. I don't know how to explain. It's like I just compared to what I saw just before, it's not that good. But overall, it's like skinny elf. At least she's eating less than elf from Tripo. Maybe you like this more. Let's check next one. Okay, so here's our character. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, fingers, messy. No ear, messed up. Okay, so little bit problem there and there. Some stuff with eyes. Okay. Oh, but here it's like not that bad also. Like more or less logical. Fine here. What if we check the geometry? Geometry, by the way, is not that bad. Oh, wow. What's happening with her hair? Here, oof. Yeah, I would say 7 out of 10. Okay, weapon. Okay. Ooh, wow. That's a very weird decision. Definitely dislike for that. What about patterns? It's like something in the middle. I like the texture, like fire, but you see, it's like sort of projected and behind the axis, there is no texture. So I would say 5 out of 10. Geometry is quite okay. Yeah, except this part. Speedboat. Okay, so here we go. All text are obscured. Cannot read them. What about geometry? Actually more or less here and there. Okay, so you see these guys? You decide it for yourself. Now, for me, 6 out of 10. And here we go with clocks. Okay, so yeah, look, I mean, some numbers are clear actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have it like until 9. It's very well done. But then 11 and 10, it missed it. Okay, so what about backside? Well, I mean, it's better, I guess, than Meshy, but not close to Tripo. What about this clockworks? Okay. So. Hunyuan actually is poor in details, you know, like if there's something small, it will tend to smooth it, you know, and yeah, no lifts whatsoever. I don't like it compared to others, not gonna lie. And the shrine, okay. So, I will see cheating here, right? This is what I said, but might be actually another bad idea. I mean, that's definitely better than Meshy. I like this more than Meshy because these 4 million polygons are maybe not justified. I don't know, But for me, this is way better. At least it's cleaner and more useful. But both are failed for me, of course. That was high poly generation. Let me also quickly tell you what's in Studio, since it's now available for everyone. First, you choose from character or props. Let's check the character. They are pretty much the same. Character just has more options. So what you have here is you can generate geometry, similar as it was there. Pretty much everything is the same. Then as a next step, you can split generated mesh into components, and it is actually not bad. I again have separate video about it. Take a look. Most curious and most useful thing here is Topology. And this is really good. Version 1.5 sometimes gives incredible results and they support quads. The only downside, they do not have any polygon control, so you just can choose like low, medium, high. And that's it. Here is the result created right here and you can evaluate it by yourself. I think it's actually very good. Also, only Hunyuan allow you to UV with AI. It's not perfect, sometimes it fails completely, but sometimes I'm surprised how far it goes. The rest of the options are more or less clear. We do have texturing, rigging, and animation are not usable. They're really bad. How much Hunyuan cost? Again, they give free 20 credits, but if that's not enough for you, you can actually purchase this subscription. I never tried that, but they say you will have around 100 generations per $20. Which is, again, very good one. 3 times better than Meshy and little bit better than Tripo in terms of amount. But not in the quality, I guess. And last but not least, Hitem3D. If you don't know Hitem3D, they started as Spark 3D at some point, and they actually hit the market with the promise of very, very detailed mesh. And look at this shrine. Okay, every leaf is detailed, right? I would say it's actually not bad result. Similar to Tripo, I really like it. The rune should be intruded, I would say, but it's not. Otherwise, okay. What option do we have? When Hitem first released, there were only one tab to create a 3D. Now they do have quite a lot. Let's break it down. The most recent model is V2.1, which is actually great. We have fast and quality. Fast will generate fast, quality will add more accurate details. Geometry only or geometry with texture, CC4 or private license, and advanced options. Hitem is not really about low poly. They focus more on details, accuracy, and printing, at least right now. So you cannot go lower than 300,000 polygons. I don't really know like what all these options means. This one only is actually for printing, similar what Meshy have. And Tripo, by the way, also offer export but not detailed setting. There are also general and portrait modes. Portrait is recommended for faces, so we're gonna create heads here, boom, and everything else we're gonna create through general. There is also texture step separate. If you create anything only in geometry, you can texture it here later. You can choose something you created from here, or you can actually upload your own object. 3D relief, something experimental, and segmentation. Also quite good segmentation. If you're curious about it, same video in the description. So what about results? Here is our face. Ooh, okay. I like your eyes. Actually, eyes are following the prompt. I just realized that the Hitem only made them right. Okay, so shape, all that stuff is nice. This pattern added here, it looks okay, but probably it should not add it. For the hair, this is very interesting that the hair here look like if it's like something that we're gonna print. A spoiler, I'm really using Hitem for printing quite often and do recommend. I did create quite a videos because in printing what's matter are details and solid structure. And this is what I get here. Also, I need to mention that we do have free retries here. Let's check the character. Okay, I like the texture. It's like cartoonish, nice texture, similar like it is on reference, by the way. That's why I like it. We have small problems with the finger, they are merged. Let's check the geometry. So I would say this is good to print it right away. Because again, on printing, like if that will be a figure like 7-8 centimeters, then you really don't care about the details and you better have it similar. So you sort of like merged like this. Very good for printing, not really good for game development. Weapon. Ooh. I almost fell in love with this 3D model. This one is actually good, right? This is at least logical. I know I didn't specify the back view, but this one fine. The tree behind is almost clean, but not clean. But the problem that axes go in like very close to shield. But they are not that bad, right? If I don't need to separate them, quite good. Here's our speedboat. Okay. Yeah, so here in this inside area, a bit failed. Okay, let's check geometry. The geometry is fine, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Not that detailed, but it's fine. Clocks. These clocks can make me paranoid because, I mean, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I mean, that's scary, guys. Bonsai tree. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow. For the leaves, look very nice. What's about the ground? Okay, so like some fallen leaves. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it messed up the texturing from top view or something. I like the part all above the middle, and below it's quite messy. What about geometry? Oh, well, actually geometry is good. Look, geometry is very, very nice. And that's what I'm saying, like, I really recommend it for 3D printing. And Shrine, you already know. And for the price, about Hitem, we have really good news. They've recently actually recalibrated price significantly, so now it costs 20 to 30 credits per textured model. And we have same $20 subscription, 4,000 credits, similar to Meshy. So for 20 bucks, you get either 33 textured models or 50 geometry models. If you're using top tier model, or if you use, for example, a V2.1 fast, which has worse quality, of course, can have more. And that was it almost. But now, which one is actually the best? Well, guys, there is an answer on Top3D AI leaderboard. And here we go. So one of the best is Hunyuan and Tripo. And personally, I really like Tripo more. Then we do have Waiwo. Oh, I didn't mention who is that. That's not a problem. I'll show you right after. Then we do have Prism from 3D Studio, Lychee, Rodin, Hitem, and Meshy is 11. And guys, that's not my opinion. That's yours. There is also by geometry, we do have recent Waiwo release in top 1, then Tripo, Hunyuan, Hitem. We didn't add it like Hitem 2.1 yet. And we expect it to be very good because it released the day I'm recording this video. By the time you watch this video, you'll definitely have it here. For low poly, definitely Tripo P1, that smart mesh, and Hunyuan, that red topology feature. And for segmentation, we have Hunyuan and Hitem taking the lead. This leaderboard is based on more than 100,000 votes, so this should be objective. Now, as a bonus, let me tell you a little bit about Waiwo. They were first to introduce, guess what? 8K textures, guys. So these guys are developing very extremely cool texturing stuff, and they really like cool names. Look how detailed the texture is, and this is what is Waiwo about. They also recently improved geometry accuracy and stuff. The only thing is that it is probably the most expensive right now, but in exchange on highest quality. Let's review a few examples. So here our axes with arrows. Okay, so texture definitely look epic, and the pattern here pretty much close to reference. Okay, what about bonsai tree? Okay, here we go. A little bit messy here, however. The shrine from sides look very nice, like very realistic. The coins or whatever is not here, it's broken, but the sides around are very good. And Waiwo main use case is Unreal Engine, how you drop it there. And look, it actually made it. A small problem here. Oh no, like the 7 is broken. It was very close. And now what about settings? Image to text, multi-view, or upload your own model. Then we do have this, and this is like, wow, what? Yes, guys, brace yourself. We do have Ultima Prime, and of course, we're gonna go for Ultima Prime. Then we have auto poly count, high details, low poly. I recommend auto poly count, by the way, it works. And for the texturing, we have even more settings like fast 4K, real 4K, Ultima 8K. Yes, and it will also cost you quite a lot. They were one of the first to introduce this unlit texture. This is how you remove these shadows and stuff. Then you do have texture adherence, inside out texturing, which should fix like some deep parts, creativity level and stuff. You can use Hyper or Note, that will reduce a little bit the quality and make it faster. Overall, the generation might take up to 10 minutes, but you got some great results. Here's the character, by the way. Alright guys, that was it. Let me know in the comments, like, how do you like all of this? Which one is better by your opinion? And see you in the next video.